The last few days were marked by active offensive operations of Russian forces in the region of Donbas, as well as a new demonstration of the anti-human posture of the Kyiv government towards its own citizens. On March 5th and 6th, Russia and the DPR made two attempts to evacuate civilians from Mariupol and Volnovakha. Mariupol is fully surrounded by Russian forces and the People's Militia of Donbas, while Volnovakha remains blocked from the south, east, and west. The northern route from it is under fire control of the Russians. Nevertheless, in both cases, Ukrainian units denied the evacuation via the humanitarian corridor towards Zaporizhzhya. At the same time, they opened fire at people that tried to leave towards the territory controlled by Russia and the DPR. In the evening of March 6th, active offensive operations in the area were resumed. The advance on Mariupol was developed from the northern and eastern directions. Intense clashes erupted in Volnovakha. DPR units now control about half of the town and are working to eliminate its remaining garrison. The third direction of the advance in this area of operations was the town of Gulepola and surrounding settlements. On the evening of March 6th, Russian forward units entered the town after a series of artillery strikes on military objects and positions of Kyiv's forces. This became another success in the operation to deny the ability of Ukrainian units to withdraw towards Zaporizhzhya from their positions to the west and southwest of Donetsk city. In the larger perspective, Russia, the LPR, and DPR worked to isolate the forces of the Ukrainian army in the region of Donbas. Therefore, it is realistic to expect a push to cut off the road to Dnipro from the northern direction. Units belonging to Russia and the LPR are advancing on positions of the Ukrainian army around Izium. The advance is likely a part of the push to isolate Slavyansk and Kramatorsk from the western direction. On March 7th, Russia made one more, even larger effort to rescue civilians. At 10 o'clock local time, humanitarian corridors were opened in Kyiv, Mykolaiv, Kharkiv, Sumy, and Mariupol. However, the mass evacuation of civilians from the cities is under question because of sabotage from the Ukrainian side. It should be noted that on March 6, Russian units suffered tactical setbacks around the city of Mykolaiv. They retreated from the villages of Bashtanka, Piskik, and Maryanivka. The situation around Pereyasadivka remains unclear. Mykolaiv authorities loyal to the Kyiv government claimed that on March 6th, 2 Russian warplanes were downed in the region. The city of Kharkiv remains unblocked from the southern and western directions. The Russian military has made no attempts to storm the city. On previous days, they delivered strikes on military infrastructure and fortified positions in the area. In the Chernihiv and Sumy regions, the situation remains relatively the same. The Russians blocked both regional capitals and are now consolidating their gains. At the same time, Kyiv remains blocked from the northeast and northwest. Russian forces have conducted no attempts to storm the capital. On March 6th, Russia delivered a new round of strikes on military infrastructure all across Ukraine. In particular, a powerful strike hit the Gavrishovka military airfield in Vinnytsia. Additionally, Russian forces shot down 11 military aircraft and 2 helicopters belonging to the Ukrainian Air Force between March 5th and March 6th. Furthermore, the Russian military warned NATO member states that the usage of their airfield network by Ukrainian military aviation can be regarded as involvement in the armed conflict. The warning came amid a new round of speculations that some Western states may donate warplanes to Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry also reported that it had obtained information about the military biological program of the Kyiv government that was supported by the United States. Earlier, reports appeared that Ukraine was covertly developing nuclear weapons and was close to obtaining them before the start of the Russian military operation. The recent days demonstrated that Russian forces took a tactical pause in their operations in the north and northeast of Ukraine, while most active military developments were observed in the south and east of the country. According to reports, Russia is currently deploying reinforcements to the critical parts of the front line in the Kharkiv region and around Kyiv. Meanwhile, successes in the region of the Donbas create conditions for the full elimination of Kyiv's forces there, and thus a further development of the offensive on the eastern bank of the Dnieper River.